for some side splits live. Thank you so much for coming back. We are doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern so that we can practice a little bit of consistency to build a little bit of community. And I try to bring good vibes to the internet so we can work on our side splits together, make a little bit of progress. If you're just joining in, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, Che. Hello, hello. And it's time to get started. Let's get into some hip cars. Hip cars look a little bit like this. We are starting by bringing our knees up as high as we can, directly in front. And from here, we're going to open up that leg to the side. Try to keep the hips stable, keep them from moving, and point that knee out to the side. From here, we're going to rotate that leg from the side. It's going to look like this. We're going to rotate the leg so that the ankle comes up to horizontal, and then we're going to keep going. We're going to bring the ankle up higher and higher and higher. And from here, we're going to bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel that stretch in the hip flexor. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side, and we are going to get started in just a second. All right, let's go. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. Oh, my hamstrings are cramping. Oh, man. Let's keep going. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 2, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That is 10. On the left side, we had a comment. Is that Ainlin? Says, wow, so challenging. Absolutely. We do this every single day, so I have had several hundreds of days worth of experience, and that might be why I'm going a little bit fast. I'll slow down for the next leg. All right. Let's talk it through one more time, everybody. Let's go. We're starting the hip cars. We'll bring the knee up directly in front of us as high as you can. From here, we're going to open up that leg directly to the side as wide as you can without your hips going anywhere. All right. From here, we're going to rotate the leg so that the ankle comes up. Oh, man, I'm cramping up a lot today. What is going on? From there, we're going to rotate the ankle up so that it hits horizontal first. Then we're going to keep going and keep on bringing the ankle up. And then we're going to bring the leg down and back. All right, so we're going to go from this position where the leg is rotated out. We're going to bring the leg down and back. From the front, it's going to look like this, down and back. When you're here, we want to feel the stretch here at the hip because these are called hip cars. I want you to keep on keeping your core strong so that you're not doing a lot of this movement when you bring that leg back. That's going to put a whole bunch of pressure on your low back, and that's not going to be feeling very nice after a lot of reps. All right, so keep the core tight. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the glutes, flex the hamstrings. Feel the stretch here in the front of the hip flexor. Try to keep that core nice and tight. We're going to do 10 more reps on this other leg. Let's go. Feel free to put your hands out for balance if you need it. All right, let's go. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 1, high knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 2, high knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 3, high knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 4, high knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 5, high knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 6, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9, last 1, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That is 10 hip cars on both legs. going forwards. We're going to pause real quick, take a breath, and we're going to start going in reverse. The movements are basically the same. We're just going a slightly different order. We're going to start by keeping this core nice and tight. And that is because the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring the leg down and back. We ended with the leg down and back. Now we're starting with the leg down and back. The one con with starting back is we tend to have the most energy for that first part of the rep. We're going to kick that leg back. And if you're working real hard on kicking that leg back, sometimes you get into a position where you're putting a lot of pressure into that low back. We're doing this. Instead of keeping our back nice and neutral, we are doing this torquing thing. That is not what we want. We want to keep the core tight so that the back does not go like this, and that we don't irritate our low back and irritate our spine. All right, so keep that core tight like you're bracing for a punch, and bring that leg down and back. It won't go as far, it won't look as impressive, but this is about your hip mobility. It's not about looking cool. It doesn't look that cool anyway, all right? From here, you're feeling the stretch here in the front of your hip. You can contract the hamstrings, you can contract the glutes to help bring that leg back. And we're gonna lift the leg directly up to the side. From here, we're hitting that neutral ankle and knee at the same height, horizontal point. Then we're going to rotate as high as we can, bring that ankle as high as possible. Then we're going to switch, bring the knee as high as possible, then bring the whole leg to the front. And that is how we finish. Oh man, when I spend a lot of time holding those positions, my muscles start to cramp and get really tired. So if I ever look like I'm sticking my finger into my hip, that's why. We're going to do 10 reps of that on the left side. I'm going to talk it through nice and slow for the first couple reps, and then we're going to do 10 more on the right side. Let's go. Core tight, bracing forward punch, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's two, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's three, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, four, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, five, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, six, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, seven, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, eight, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, nine, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 10. Oh, those are hip cars in reverse. Hip cars, once again, everybody, stands for hip, normal hip, cars, controlled, articulated rotations. It's about moving your hip and your leg through that maximum range of motion that you have available to you at this moment right now, using your own muscle power. So maybe you lift your knee as high as you can using your own muscle power. It's this high. But if you grabbed your leg and you pulled it in, you can bring it up higher. Your muscles aren't strong enough to get in there by itself. This pulling your knee all the way up, that's flexibility. You have the ability to get into that spot, but you're not mobile enough to get into that spot. You're not strong enough to move your way into that spot on your own. And that is what we're training. We're trying to give ourselves control over our maximum range of motion. And that makes this really tiring. We got one more leg. Let's go. Core tight, like you're bracing for a punch. Protect that low back from the irritation. And let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one. We're doing 10. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's three, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, four, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, I think that's five, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's six, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, seven, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's eight, two more, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's nine, one more, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that is, oh man, a whole bunch of hip cars. We are done with hip cars for today. If your legs are tired, that's because hip cars are hard. If they were easy, they wouldn't cause your body to change, right? It needs to be a little bit challenging. It needs to be a little bit difficult. We're going to move on into our second warm-up exercise, and that is the elephant walk. What we're going to do to set this up is fold into this L shape, fold at the hips, bring the belly button down, and get to here. If you're stuck a little bit higher, you can't get any lower, that's totally fine. It's part of the process. But if you can, I want you to fold, and I want you to try to relax. Oh, if you have a tight low back, you might be feeling some tension, some irritation here in the back. Relax, fold. Hopefully that sensation will slowly relax itself and go away. And when you're feeling the stretch building in your hamstrings, it's time to add in the elephant walks. All right? Elephant walks look like this. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to keep on trying to bring the belly button down towards the ground. We're going to switch. We're going to switch again and switch again. When we're switching, I'm just switching the knee that's bent and the knee that's straight. And, keep on breathing. Keep on going. Whew. Switch, switch, switch. When you are doing this, you might feel a bit of tingliness or a bit of a stretch here underneath your glutes. Your tailbone is where your hamstrings attach to your bones, your pelvis. And that sensation right underneath your glutes tends to be where the muscles turn into tendons and the tendons attach into your pelvis. So that's probably what you're feeling. You probably feel it in your hamstrings, and you probably know why. If you're feeling it in your calves and your toes, and you're finding your toes are a little tingly, oftentimes that sensation is called nerve flossing and nerve stretching. It is a pretty normal part of doing this movement, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. But if you are feeling a little bit tingly, a little weird, definitely do not get explosive with this. Don't go boom, 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 and like trying to power through and shove yourself into a deep squished position. Take it nice and slow and gentle. And hopefully, now that I've talked so much, you've gotten way more comfortable doing this movement. You're not feeling as tense. If you can, try and fold that belly button down a little further forward and keep going. Keep on going. Left knee, right knee, left knee, right knee. 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. Pop into a little bit of a squat. Come back up into standing. And that is our elephant walks. What we just did was warm up our hamstrings, warm up our knees and our ankles, trying to get them prepared for some of the other stuff that's coming up in this show. If you're just joining in, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live hip mobility and side splits work. And we do this every day to practice consistency, build some community, send some good vibes out there so that you can make stretching a little less just pure suffering and crying silently to yourself and more fun. Right? If you like that, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe. If you're not sure, keep following along. We got plenty more show to do. Let's go. Grunt and groan at your leisure. I can't hear you anyway. Next up, we're going to take that move we just did, where one knee is bent, one leg is straight, and we're going to add some thoracic rotation. Thoracic rotation is just fancy for we're going to rotate and twist our spine. All right? What I want you to do is bend one knee. I want you to take the arm from the bent knee side. I want you to reach across to the other leg. This leg is straight. And I want you to push against the outside of that leg to help open up your chest. Once your chest is open, I want you to reach your arms back behind you, up and over. Once you've reached as far as you can, I want you to make sure that your neck is rotated to look at that hand. I talk fast. You don't need to move fast. Once you've reached as far as you can reach, I want you to breathe. Inhale, exhale. On the exhale, try to reach a little bit further back. And that is half of a rep. We're going to do 5 in total, so let's switch to the other side. This leg, the other leg is now bent. We're taking the hand from the bent leg side. We're reaching across to the other side. We are pushing against the outside of the body. The belly button is still coming down. We are opening up that chest, extending the arm behind us. The neck is rotating to look at that hand. Open, 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 open. Again, I talk fast. That does not mean you need to move fast. Once you have reached as far as you think you can for the moment, I want you to take an inhale. Exhale, and reach a little further back. Inhale, exhale, reach. Oh, that is one super long descriptive version of our thoracic rotations. I'm going to explain less as we do more, so the pacing will pick up a little bit. Again, leg is bent, arm from the bent leg side, reaching across, push open, 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 open. Look at that hand, your neck is rotated. Breathe, exhale, and reach some more. Other side, bent leg, straight leg. Arm pushing against the outside of the straight leg. Reach, rotate, look at that hand. Breathe, and reach some more. That is 2 reps. We got 3 more to go. Come on. Reach. Other side. That is 3. 2 more. Reach, 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 reach. Breathe. 4. Last one. Open. Breathe. 5. Oh, if you've done all of those, your shoulders might be a little bit tired right now from reaching all the way back and trying to get further and further, and that is okay. Hopefully you enjoyed the light workout. Now you're ready to move on into the next stretch. We're going to get into stretch number 3, warm-up exercise number 3, excuse me. It's called the Cossack switch. And it looks a little bit like this. You don't have to jump in right away. Give me a second to demonstrate, and then we'll talk about how to do it together. All right? We're going to try our best to drop down onto one leg, sink as deep as we can into this stretch while this other leg is extended out over there. We're going to try and keep our butts low to the ground. Bring our hips over to the other side. I don't know if you just heard, my ankle basically exploded. And from here, we're going to sit, we're going to get compact, we're going to squish as small and compact as we can, then we're going to come back. Boom. That is 1 rep. Once to the left and once to the right. Most of us, your hips, your ankles are not going to be ready for that kind of deep, squishy stretchiness. So what I want you to do is I want you to get on your toes, hug your knees to your chest, lean forward a little bit, try to balance your weight so that you are leaning forward and chilling right here. Feeling that stretch in the Achilles tendon, in the calves, feeling the folding sensation at your hips between your knees and your chest. And when you're getting comfortable here, I want you to add a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a shake, just a little bit of gentle motion to help loosen up the joints. And it's time. It's time for some Cossack switches. So you were just in a position where you're hugging your knees to your chest. Take those hands, just drop them straight down into the ground. You don't have to reach forward. You don't have to go do anything fancy. Just put them down on the ground. From here, we're going to extend one leg out to the side, and we're going to drop this heel down. Okay? What we're about to do requires a lot of stability, requires a lot of balance. And the way to get your body the most stable involves getting that heel down, having stability on this leg. So get into whatever position you need to in order to keep your heels down. If you're super squishy and flexible, you can get super low, great. If you need a little bit more assistance, if you gotta be up here, that is fine. This is part of the process. All right, from here, we're gonna scoot our butts over to the other side. If you're higher up, it might be a little bit easier, might be a little bit more straightforward for you. If you need help, you can always put your hands down to help bring you to the other side. When you get to the other side, I want you to try and sit and squish as deep as you can into this stretch and continue. Switch, squish, switch, squish, and my ankles just cracked again. That's it. That's the whole thing. We're going to do 10 reps of these. Hopefully you've done a couple already, but I forgot to tell you to start, and I forgot to tell you that I was going to count, so we're going to start and do 10 more from here. If you need to take a break, take a break. We're here as low as we can be with this heel down. Put your hands down for support. Walk your hips over. Hang out on the other side. Squish. Get compact. Come on back. Whew. That is 1 rep. Keep going. Across and back. Spend a second on each side, just pausing, chilling, trying to get squished. And come on back. That's 3. If you're feeling like you don't need your hands, you got this. Feel free to not use your hands. Keep on leaning pretty far forward to start so that you have to, or you don't have to relearn how to balance in this position. And, oh, this is 5. And, oh. If you're at the point where when you get stuck in this position, in between spots, the inside of your knees are getting a little irritated, getting a little uncomfortable, instead of keeping your hips super low and trying to get across over and over again, you can do something like this. You can come up just a little bit, come across, and then sit deep into the stretch, and then come up, come across, and sit deep into the stretch. I recommend that you try both styles. This will help you take some of the pressure off of the inside of the knee when you're coming across, and you still get the benefit of this drop down stretch at the bottom. I have completely lost track of how many of these we've done. I think this is 8 though. Yeah, I think this is 8. So we're starting number 9. Come on back. That's 9. For the last one, if you want to feel real strong, take up the challenge. Try and sit up a little straighter. Straighten up that spine. You're going to have to rework the balance in your hips and in your low back. And try and scoot your butt over to the other side. You can stick your arms out for counterbalance. And, oh man, I talk too much and don't breathe enough. That is 10 reps of Cossack switches. If you are done with those, then great. Oh, hey, Liz asked, what if my knees hurt? Did you send that before I talked about coming up, coming across, and then sinking back down? Or does your knee hurt at some other point in the process? A lot of the time, if your knee hurts and perhaps you don't have a very strong set of legs yet, some of that knee discomfort will go away with building up some strength, building up some ability in those lower positions. But I don't know. I don't know what your knee situation is. We got another question coming. How is the jet lag? It is rough. I am so tired. My eyes want to close. And I'm working real hard to keep the energy up. Okay. Those are Cossack switches. That is our warm-up. If that sounds intimidating because you're like, wait, what? That was the warm-up? That was really, really tough. Don't worry. We need to do the warm-up to get our muscles, to get our hips, to get our joints prepared so that we can get the most out of the stretches that are coming up. We have 5 stretches to go. The first one is a hamstring stretch. And what I want you to do is go grab a pillow, go grab a cushion, go grab something to rest your knee on. And that might look like a yoga block. It might look like a couch cushion. It might look like a decorative pillow, a dog bed, anything with a little bit of padding to make your knee a little bit more comfortable is going to work. So take a second, go grab that, and we will continue demonstrating. If whatever it is that you grabbed is big enough to put both knees down, then please do that so that your knees are right next to each other for just a second. I want you to look down at your hips while your knees are together. I want you to notice where your hips are. All right? This is the position that I want you to keep while we do the hamstring stretch. What we're going to do is extend one leg out in front. If you need to, if you're immediately off balance and wobbly, you can widen the stance a little bit. That will help with your balance. And I want you to fold your belly button down to your thigh. Okay? Fold. Boom. When you're doing this stretch, oftentimes we'll get into a situation where one leg is starting to come out way far in front of the other. Your hips will start shifting and then you'll be at a diagonal with your hips. Okay? That is not what we want. What we want is for hips to be nice and square to the rest of our body so we can focus on the hamstring. So keep yourself contained. All right? If you have a leg that is less flexible than the other, if you have a hamstring less flexible than the other, start with that one because I'll explain and break down the steps a little bit more on that first go around. Okay. I think that's all we need to get started. So I'm going to rotate over to this side so you don't have to stare at the top of my head, and we'll be ready to begin. All right. Hips are squared, leg is in front, folding the belly button down to the thigh. Breathe. Relax. chill. Once you're here, I want you to breathe normally. Just casually try to relax into that stretch. You might be feeling a whole bunch of tension in your hamstrings. You might be feeling a whole bunch of tension in your toes, in your feet. Try to relax. Let the feet drop. Let the calves chill out. Let the hamstrings do whatever they got to do in order to compensate for the stretch that you're putting yourself in. Okay. From here, we're going to add an inhale, exhale, fold. What I want you to do is I want you to take a nice big breath of air in on the inhale. Then on the exhale, I want you to slowly let it out. As you're exhaling, I want you to try to fold your belly button down towards your leg. When you fold down, I want you to focus on the belly button coming down. I don't want you to obsess on the chest or the head. I don't want you to think that you're trying to stick your face into your knee. When you're working really hard trying to bring your face into your knee, your upper neck, your upper shoulders are going to get tired and they're going to feel weird. And we don't want that. All of the stretch is coming from your belly button coming down. Everything else can be a little bit more relaxed. Your back can be a little bit arched, like I'm demonstrating right now. As long as your head isn't going whoosh, trying to bring your face to the knee, we are good. Okay? So chill out. Relax. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. And now you're in a deeper stretch. Your legs are going to be super uncomfortable, and that's okay. What we're trying to do is breathe, trying to relax, trying to chill in this position. Stab your fingers into your muscles to massage them, to take your mind off of the discomfort of the position you're in. And we're going to do one more inhale, exhale, fold. Okay? One more inhale. Exhale, fold. I want you to imagine that there's a rope pulling you from the top of your head, extending your back out in front of you while you fold forward. And once you're as deep as you can get, we're holding this stretch for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Keep on breathing, normal breaths. Try to relax into that stretch. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch for one leg. We got one more hamstring stretch to do. Take a breath, chill for a second, and let's get into it. Switch the knees. Extend the leg out in front of you. Remember, if you're immediately off balance, you're wobbly, you can widen your stance a little bit. Fold, bring the belly button down to the thigh. Fold, 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 fold. Fold, 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 fold. Fold, 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 fold. And once you have folded as far as you can, inhale, exhale, try to relax a little bit. Not the crazy inhale, exhale, fold, just breathe. Focus on relaxing. And relax your leg muscles. Relax your calves, relax your feet, relax your toes, relax your knees, relax your quads. Relax. Okay? Now, we're going to do the inhale, exhale, fold. Okay? Inhale. Exhale and fold. You're in a deeper stretch now. Everything feels way more crazy. Keep on breathing, inhaling, exhaling, chilling, relaxing. Feel the muscles in your leg. Make sure the calves are relaxed. Make sure your feet are relaxed. Make sure your quads are relaxed. If your hamstrings are super tight, there's not much you can do about it, but you can pretend that they're relaxed. And it's time for one more inhale, exhale, fold. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. That is our stretch. Try to relax. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on out of that stretch. You can also make as many sound effects as you need to. I've been doing some version of this show for about 400 plus 450 days now. So if it looks like I'm incredibly flexible or something to you, that is because I have been very, very, very consistent suffering on the floor pretty much every single day for a long time now. And we've been doing just the exact instructions I just gave you the whole entire time. So if you don't believe me, you can, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, just go back to the beginning of my live streaming career. I don't know if this is a career, I don't get paid. So you can go to the beginning of the live streaming days and check out my progress, or check out my starting point. I'm trying to share with the world how important it is to stay consistent. And I'm doing it in real time, right alongside you guys. So if it seems like I'm like really far along and like I'm just showing off at any given moment, please, please know that it's the same exact series of exercises, basically the same prompts, same things I've been saying for months and months, and at this point, years, a year and change. And it's more about the consistency than it is about, showing off. Because I know at this point I've gotten to a really cool position where I can stick my knee almost in my chest now, and I'm really proud of that. But I don't want you to take it the wrong way, like I'm just a super flexible dude who's been showing off on the internet. I'm a really stiff guy. If you look at my starting point a year ago, and then you flip to like 3 months in, and you flip to 6 months in, and flip to like 9 months in, you'll be like, man, this dude hasn't made any progress in a long time. Yeah, so some caveats. All right, we're done with the hamstring stretch. You can get rid of the block. You can get rid of the cushion. Let's sit on our butts, relax a little bit, and oh man, my knee just cracked. That's not good. There's a lot of sounds my joints are making. I don't know if it's because I sat on a plane for too many hours of not moving, and my whole body forgot how to move in that meantime. But my hips have been cracking, my knees have been cracking. I don't know if it's because I came from a warm place and now I'm in a cold place, and now my joints are just responding to that change in temperature. But anyways, we're going to move on into our second stretch, the butterfly stretch. What I want you to do is take your butt, your mid-back, your shoulders, your head up against the wall. Relax that posture for a bit, chill. And I want you to take your feet, bring them together, pull them in, and get into this position where your knees are probably coming up a little bit. I'm going to take off my socks because they are too slippery for me to get into a good stretch. And hopefully that will be enough to get me into a deeper stretch. From here, we're pulling the feet in towards our groin. The purpose of the butterfly stretch is to stretch out the groin muscles. And the way we do that is by bringing our knees down into the ground. I want you to flex your muscles, the outer thigh muscles and the glutes, to help pull your knees down into the ground. If you're not sure that you're using the right muscles, you're not sure how to do this, just look at your knees. If your knees are going down towards the ground, you're probably doing a good job. If you're feeling more intense of a stretch here in the groin and your knees are going down, great, you're probably doing a great job. The only time where you're probably not using the right muscles is if your knees come up this way. That's the exact opposite of the muscles that we want, okay? So don't worry about perfect. Worry about trying your best, okay? Let's go. Once your legs are as wide open as you can using your own muscle power, we're going to add some external force. We're going to take our hands, we're going to apply a little bit of pressure just below the knee. And when you do this, when you push into your legs, you're going to feel a whole bunch of pressure in your shoulders, in the back of your head. That is because when you push your legs down, you're also pushing yourself back. Because the wall is there, you're pushing yourself into the wall. But since you're not going anywhere because the wall is behind you, you push your legs into the ground. All right? That is our stretch. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. My feet are not quite sweaty enough so that they get the like extra grip factor to the floor. So I'm struggling really hard to keep my feet close to my groin and make sure that we feel the stretch in case you're feeling the same thing. 22, 21, 20. Having a little bit more sweat might make this a little bit easier. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Keep on breathing. Don't hold your breath. Try to relax as you push your legs deeper into that butterfly stretch. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, relax the hands. Let them go. Relax the muscles in your glutes, in your outer thighs. If you have not relaxed those muscles at all the whole time that we were counting down and all the other miscellaneous instructions I gave you, I'm sorry. I should have told you to relax and chill out a long time ago. If you can, I want you to try and flap the wings of your butterfly in this butterfly stretch. Bring your knees up, drop them back down. Flappy, flappy, flappy. And when your legs are moving okay, we're ready to move on into our third stretch, the standing pancake, which can also be turned into the seated pancake if you want. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Ooh, grunting and groaning. We are going to open up our legs decently wide. Oh, man. Whew, my hips just cracked. From here, with this open leg position, we want to look at our belly button. We want to fold it down into the ground. Whew. That's it. This is our starting position for the pancake stretch. Looks a little bit like this. What I want you to do is focus on trying to bring that belly button down into the ground. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down some more. Down, 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 down. Down some more. Down, 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 down. Down some more. And I can't get any further. So just pretend I got further. And we want something that looks like this. Fold, 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 fold. Boom. Flat pancake. It is really hard to get into that stretch. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. It takes a lot of flexibility. So we want to do the variation that has gravity working the mostest for us to help us, right? So what I want you to do when you get into this position is I want you to try and keep your upper back as close to horizontal as possible. If you remember some high school physics, you might remember that leverage works at the point right here, and it gets more intense when you're horizontal and gravity's pulling you down, something like that. And then the lever, when it gets longer, makes for more work, makes it so that you fold further. I don't really remember the exact terminology to use right now, so this is making me sound foolish. So I'm going to move on from this topic. Extend your arms so that your biceps are by your ears. Fold forward at the belly button. The longer you are, the more close to horizontal you are, the more intensely you will feel that gravity pulling you down in your hips, all right? If you are leaning too far forward and you feel like your face is about to smash into the ground, a quick fix is sticking your butt back. Like so that your butt is not directly over your feet, it is behind your feet. When you do that, it shifts the center of balance backwards, and it also should help to keep you horizontal so that you can get into that high leverage, high suffering from gravity position. All right? If you are not exactly excited for a standing variation in that stretch, maybe because your floor is slippery and you feel like you'll just slide out and fall and you need a little bit more support, you can do the same exact stretch from a seated position. I recommend you sit on something that gets you close to being able to hit horizontal, so you still get the maximum benefit from gravity, but you should start wherever you can with whatever you got. It doesn't have to be perfect, all right? Stick your butt onto a stool, onto a chair, onto whatever it is you're going to sit on. I recommend that you put the chair up against the wall so that it can't slide out from underneath you when you're shifting and you're focusing on trying to fold forward. If it's stable, it makes you feel safer, and if you feel safe, it'll be easier to relax. All right, I'm gonna open up the legs. We're gonna fold forward. Bring the belly button down, 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 down. Again, increase the leverage by extending your arms so that your biceps are past your ears, and fold forward. That's it. That's the whole thing. We're just folding, relaxing, and suffering all at the same time. Let's get into it. I'm already seated, so I guess I'll do a seated pancake today. Legs wide, folding the belly button down and forward, extending the arms up if you can. If you get tired, you can always put them down. Bring that belly button down. Breathe. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ah, that is our pancake stretch. Oh man, that was intense. If your hips are really tired right now and you don't want to move, that is absolutely okay. The pancake is probably the hardest stretch of the whole entire show, and that's because we combine two kind of intense stretches and it hurts. When you fold forward, it doesn't matter if your toes are together or if your legs are apart, your hamstrings are getting that intense stretch. It's part of the reason why we spent so much time on the hamstring stretch a couple minutes ago. And the other place where you're going to really feel that stretch is the inner thigh muscles. When your legs come apart, these muscles in the inner thigh are getting stretched, and it's going to feel crazy intense, especially when you're standing, because when you're standing, you're not just stretching out the muscle, you're also contracting the muscle at the same time to keep you from falling into a deeper stretch, right? At some point, your muscles are going to go, nope, I'm not going any further. And when you're there, these muscles are contracting really hard to keep you from falling further. That contraction is going to hurt. It's called suffering for your side splits. Anyways, that's our third stretch. We're going to move on into something a little bit more gentle, a little bit easier, a little bit more relaxed, and that is the pigeon stretch. I'm pretty sure we did the figure 4 this morning. Yes, we did the figure 4 this morning. So we're going to move on into the pigeon stretch for stretch number 4. If you have a favorite, if you have something you prefer, you've been a regular on the show, you know exactly what you like, you can go do that instead. But I'm going to demonstrate the pigeon stretch. All right, let's go. In both stretches, we're doing something that looks a little bit like this. We're taking the ankle, we're crossing it over our knees, making this thing that looks kind of like the number 4, which is why it's called a figure 4 stretch. And we're going to take that ankle, we're going to bring it up to our belly button, we're going to bring our belly button down to our ankle. Once we're in this position, like this, you want to feel the stretch here in the side of the hip, in the side of the glute. Okay? That's basically the stretch. On the figure 4 stretch, you lay down on your back while you pull your leg in. In the pigeon, you lean forward and let gravity pull you down. Today, gravity is doing all the work. All right? What we're going to do is take this leg, cross it across the body. We're going to try and aim the midpoint of the chest to the midpoint in between the knee and the ankle, and fold down. Take your time, breathe, try to relax, and fold. When you fold, you should feel the stretch out here in the side of the glute, side of the hip. You might feel it here in the hamstrings. You might fold. You might feel it here in the fold, and that is what we want. With this back leg, you got options. If you don't want to do anything crazy, you can just leave the leg sort of bent on the side. You can get a perfectly good stretch with the leg just chilling. If you want to take it to the next level of difficulty, feel free to extend this leg back behind you. And that might look a little bit like this. All right. For some people, it's going to be really hard to get that mobile in the hips. So we got a couple of options to help you get there. The first one is to stop sitting up as straight. All right, when you're in this position, you're feeling a huge stretch in the hip flexor in the front of that hip because your body is straight up. If you lean forward a little bit, you reduce the intensity of this stretch, and you might be able to lean forward just enough that you can bring your leg back behind you. But we got another option for getting your leg behind you if that doesn't work. That is elevating the front leg. You can use a stool, you can use some yoga blocks, just make sure it's relatively stable. If you elevate the front leg and have that set up so that your hips are now higher off the ground, this back leg doesn't have to have as much flexibility to hang out behind you. Cool? Those are your options to get your leg behind you. You can use a couch, you can use your bed to do this. You don't have to use a stool if you don't have one. You can use a chair as well. Just make sure the chair is leaning against something stable so it doesn't slide out from underneath you while you're squirming and trying to get into a deeper stretch. Okay? That is a ton of explanation. I feel like I've been talking a lot today. Maybe too much. And I'll shut up now and we'll get into position and we can count. All right? Fold your chest down to the leg. Extend the leg behind you if you can. Feel the stretch in the outside of the glute. Inhale, exhale, chill. Inhale, exhale, chill. Try to relax all the muscles in your glutes, in your low back, in your abs. Exhale, and we're starting. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Do not hold your breath. Breathe nice and slow. Exhale and squish a little deeper into the stretch. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is one stretch. Come on out of it. Relax. Chill. Let's get ready into part 2. Spin that other leg around. Bring it across your body. Try to get the midpoint of your chest to line up with the midpoint of your leg between your ankle and your knee. We are folding forward. Stick that leg behind you. Elevate it if you need to. Get your hips high and elevate your front leg in order to get your hips high enough if you need it. And fold. Fold, 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 fold. Breathe. Try to relax the muscles in your glute, in your low back, in your abs. Breathe. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pigeon stretch. We have one last stretch to do, and that, my friends, are the side splits. Is the side splits singular, because I said one stretch left, but it's not really one stretch. We're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of the side splits. All right, and in between each round, to prepare us for the next round, we're going to shake out our bodies. We're going to get loose, get relaxed, get wiggly, and that's what you can expect to come up real soon. Before we get into the side splits, let's talk about safety real quick. I recommend that you stand about 8 to 12 inches in front of a wall. For most people, that'll be 1.5, 2 footsteps in front of the wall. And the reason why I recommend that is because when you're working on the side splits, it is very likely at some point you'll be shifting your weight back and forth. You might lose a little bit of balance. You might start falling backwards. And if you have a wall right behind you. If you lose balance, you start falling backwards, your butt will rest against the wall and everything will be a-okay. You won't fall on your butt. And that is what we want. We want you to feel safe. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to be able to relax so that you can get into a deeper side split. All right? With that, once you're set up 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, we are ready to go. I want you to open up those legs. Breathe, chill, relax. Get to a point where you are comfortable. If you're feeling a pain, a pinching in the hips, you've gone too far. Bring your legs back just a little bit and we are ready to fold. Bring that belly button down into the ground. Whee! Boom. Once you're here, try to put your hands down on the ground. When you are here in this position, you're going to be stable. You're going to be ready for some external rotation of the legs. So right now, our feet are flat on the ground. What we want to do is rotate the whole leg backwards. And what happens when the whole leg goes backwards is, boom, our heels come down, our toes point up, our knees point up, our quad muscles point up. And we want to do this on both legs. Boom. And when we get into this position, we're rotating our thigh bones so that they don't smash into our hip bones, which means anatomy-wise, our bones are no longer in the way of each other, and all we got left is to focus on our muscles getting nice and long. This is our position for the side split. Remember, your toes are pointing up, your knees are pointing up, and we're going to do a little wiggle from side to side to try and get a little bit deeper into the stretch. Trying to break the friction, holding our feet back from a deeper stretch. That is our setup. We're doing 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our first stretch. Walk your hands forward, crawl your way out of that stretch, bring your knees in, and all the way back into some sort of kneeling, resting-ish position. Breathe, relax. And when your legs are starting to work again, once you're able to walk, I want you to come back into standing. We're going to shake out the tension. What we just did in that split position was put a whole bunch of tension into our legs, into our hips. What we want to do now to prepare for our second side split is to shake out as much tension as possible, get as loose as possible so that you can stretch into a deeper stretch. All right? What I want you to do is put all your weight into one leg, and I want you to imagine that you stepped in the puddle with the other foot. And now that your feet are wet, you're trying to flick the water off of your toes. When you are whipping your leg out, trying to send the droplets flying, I want you to make sure your calves are relaxed. Your ankles are just whipping out and moving however they feel like it, and your calves are just chill with it, so they're chill. Okay, let's do that. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And that is shaking out our legs. Straightforward. Simple. We're going to do the other side. Again, we're starting with that flick. We're whipping the leg out, sending the water droplet flying off of our toes. And then as you get more comfortable, as you get more relaxed, drop the knee, pick up the speed, let the ankle flop all over the place, let the calves flop all over the place. And you basically only need 5 to 10 seconds. So feel free to do as many seconds as you like, because I definitely talk for more than 10 seconds. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to do a little bit of movement for the hips after hanging out in this position. I want you to put all of your weight into one leg. I want you to put the big toe of the other leg down, maybe the ball of the foot if you need it. And I want you to bring the knees in and out, and in and out, and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. We're just adding a little bit of gentle movement, very, very gentle. The leg can come up at any time. It's not holding any weight. We want to move so that we can help relax some of the muscles in the hip that are keeping us from relaxing because they were just doing side split stuff. Shake out that leg, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle. As you get more comfortable with this, you don't have to be so formal with the in and out. Just like before, you can start shaking out the leg. It is about relaxation, right? So you want to be floppy, you want to be wiggly, you want to be loose. And when you get to a really high level of relaxation, you can get your whole entire quad muscle, this like thigh, the upper leg, to start flopping around, jiggling, wiggling, and shaking out that tension. And you don't have to get there today, but you know, it's possible. So work towards it. Man, I think that's all we need to do. Let's get into side split number 2. We're standing 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. We are opening up those legs. We are taking a quick breath, making sure there's no pain or discomfort in the hips. If there is discomfort, bring your legs back in just a little bit so you can fold forward, bring your belly button down into the ground. Put your hands down if you can. If you can't reach the ground, feel free to add a yoga block, add a stool, or even a chair to help you stay in a strong position leaning forward. From here, we're going to externally rotate this leg. Right now, the feet are down flat on the ground. What we want to do is rotate the whole entire leg backwards so that it looks like this. Whee, boom. Your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are up, your quad muscles are pointing up. We want to do this with both legs, not just the one. Once you have done this, we have moved our thigh bones out of the way of our hip bones, and we are ready to push deeper into that side split because it's just our muscles holding us back. It's not bone structure rubbing into each other causing us discomfort. Okay? From here, take your time, breathe, sink into the stretch a little bit, do a little shake from side to side, a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can break the friction holding your feet back from a deeper side split, and breathe. Try to relax. I know it's hard because we're in a crazy position right now, but focus on your glutes for a second. I want you to be relaxed. Same thing for your thighs, for your calves, for your toes. Slowly work your way through. Try your best to relax. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. If this whole time your arms have been locked out, experiment with bending the elbows. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is it. Walk your hands forward, bring your legs in. That is our second side split. If your legs are quite tired right now, that is absolutely a-okay. I am too. Breathe, relax, chill, and let's shake it out. Let's go. Come back into standing. We're flicking water off of our toes like we just stepped in a dirty puddle. Flick that water, flick, flick, flick. Our ankles are relaxed, our calves are relaxed. And when you're comfortable with that position, you can drop the knee, you can relax the leg. You don't have to kick as hard or as far. We just want to be relaxed. And the leg is almost just vibrating in place. All right? Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Other leg. Flick, 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 flick. Drop the knee. Shake, 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 shake. Ankle is relaxed and flopping everywhere, wherever it pleases. The calves are chill and relaxed so that the ankle can do whatever it wants. And we're shaking out that leg. Ooh, boom. A little bit more for the hips. Remember, all your weight is in one leg. The big toe is down in the other side. We'll bring the knees in and out, and in and out, 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 in and out. And we're doing the other side. In and out, 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 in and out. If you want, you can make these a little bit more fun. You can make these a little bit more engaging. You can do some stanky leg. You can really extend that leg out. You can do something somewhere in the middle. Stanky leg junior is what I call this. And you can make it fun. All right. Another way to combine both things into one movement, you can just have fun with it. That is our second chill sesh. Trying to relax the muscles in our legs as much as possible. We're going to get into round 3 of our side splits right now. But actually, before we do that, if you're just joining in, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice the number one most important quality, consistency. I try to bring good vibes to the internet so we can stretch and, suffer through stretching together, make it a little bit more fun, make it a little bit more interesting to do, I guess. And hopefully we'll make a whole bunch of progress towards better hip mobility, towards better flexibility together. If that sounds good, hit follow, hit subscribe. If you still haven't decided, we got one more stretch to do, so decide soon. All right, stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall so that if you lose balance and you start falling backwards, you're like, no, your butt will land on the wall and everything will be fine. All right. From here, we're opening up the legs nice and wide. Make sure there's no discomfort or pinching sensation here at the hips. If there is, bring the legs back together just a little bit until the pain, the discomfort is gone, and then fold forward. Once you fold forward, try your best to put your hands down. If you cannot reach, elevate your hands with the stool, with the chair. And we're ready to do the most important part of the whole entire show, external rotation of the leg. So far, your feet should be flat on the ground. What we want to do is rotate the whole leg backwards so that your toes point up. Boom! Toes point up, knees point up, quads point up, and our heels are down. Now, do that on the other side. Boom! Both legs are in position now. Our bones are out of the way. It's time to focus on the muscles. Whew. Now that you're here in this position, I want you to do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can break the friction holding your feet back. Walk your hands back and you'll feel more of a stretch in the hamstrings. Walk your hands forward. You'll feel more of a stretch in your adductors and your inner thigh muscles. And that's good. That's all we got. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. Remember, we're trying to relax as much as we can in this position. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs out of that stretch. Pull them in. And that is our third and final side split. Oh, man. Catch your breath. Relax for a second. I think I'm seeing some emojis come in. Oh, thank you. And we're ready to shake it out one last time so you can go back to whatever else you got to do for the rest of the day. All right, let's go. Come back into standing. Grunt, groan, waddle like a penguin if you need to, and let's shake it out. We're flicking the legs. Oh, man, I'm way off balance. Flicking the legs out and trying to relax the calves and the ankles. When you get more comfortable with this, you can drop the knee down. It doesn't have to be so high. You want to just shake the leg back and forth, nice and speedy like. Your ankles are relaxed. Your calves are relaxed because for your ankles to flop around, your calves have to be chilling out. Other leg. Flick, 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 flick. Drop the leg, ankles and calves all relaxed. Shake out that tension. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. If you've not started adding in your hands, your arms into the wiggling, into the shaking, go ahead and add it in. They worked pretty hard holding up your body weight in that side split position. So shake out your wrists, shake out your arms, and it's time to wrap up our shaky, shaky, relaxy stuff. I need a better name for this. We're going to put all our weight into one leg. We're going to drop the big toe of our other foot down. We're going to bring the knees in and out and 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 out. Turn into a dance move. Make it fun. Ooh, stanky leg. Other side, in and out and in and out, 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 in and out. Stanky leg. Do both at the same time. In and out, 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 in and out. Boom. Make it fun, make it enjoyable. It'll be easier to do more of it so you can practice the most important quality, consistency. All right, that is our shaky, shaky, relaxy stuff. Now we're going to get into some joint checks to wrap up. We're just going to make sure everything is working as it should before I send you off to do whatever else you got to handle for the rest of the day. I want you to start with some slow and big hip circles. Really work that range of motion. Oh, ho, ho, ho. After the side splits, I typically feel a whole bunch of tension on the left and right side of the hip. So I like to spend a couple of extra seconds there. If you find somewhere where you're feeling extra stiff, extra achy, extra tense, feel free to spend a couple of seconds to stretch out those areas. When you've done that and you're ready to move on, I want you to do a quick high knee. You'll know whether or not those hips are moving well at rep 1, so you don't have to do very many of these. And then we're going to go into a quick squat and some calf raises. All right? What I want you to do is keep your feet fairly close together, maybe hips width apart, maybe just a little bit narrower. What I want you to do next is I want you to fold forward, bring your chest to your knees, and pop into a squat like this. I'm going to show you the side profile so it's easier to see what I'm doing and not just stare at the top of my head. This is what it should look like, right? Chest is coming down towards the knees. Next, I want you to push the knees forward so that they're past the toes, all right? Once they are here, you're gonna feel your toes working real hard to keep you balanced. That's because so much of your weight is leaning forward that without your toes working overtime, you would have already flopped over. This is good. This is what we want. We want the toes working real hard. We want the feet staying nice and contracted. We want the knees pushed forward so that the Achilles tendon is stretched, so that the calves are working hard and also stretched. The quads are firing, the hips are folding, the low back is going. And from here, we're going to do a little bit of a calf raise. Feel free to put your hands down if you need a little bit of support with balance, or hold on to something if you need a little bit of balance, but work on that calf raise. And if you're able to do those calf raises, it's a pretty good sign that you're able to get your toes, your feet, your ankles, your calves, your quads, your hips, your low back to work together, and you're probably pretty good to do whatever else you gotta do today. Cool? All right, that is our live. I am super jet lagged. It would be 10 a.m. in the time zone that I was most recently in, so I am struggling. But I'm here. I'm here to practice consistency with you guys. So I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the workout. I hope you're feeling good that you just crushed another side split hip mobility workout. And I hope you had fun. Whew. It is 71 minutes into the live. We have 48 people on TikTok. We got a handful on YouTube. I'm gonna scroll real quick through the chat to see what's up and what I've missed. I've been talking fast way back over there, so I haven't seen much of the chat. Ant Does Art says thank you. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Ant. Dolores says thank you. Thank you, Dolores. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here. Beja sends some heart emojis with the hands. Hello, hello. And let's see. Trying to scroll up real fast to see if there's anything else I've missed in the chat while I was gone. Funny Bunny Vibes says hello. Hello, hello. Looking to see if there's questions, comments. Jeff Hall sent tap, 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 tap. Thank you, everybody. Nike sends tap, 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 tap. Appreciate it. And hearts. Thanks, Nike. And I don't know if it's because I'm cold. My thumbs are not moving very fast. I'm not scrolling as fast as I normally expect. Chareth says, thanks, Ken. Thank you. I don't know what you're thanking me for. Is it the live? But I feel like this is in the middle of the chat, or in the middle of the live, so I wonder what it is. Elizabeth Elmy says, lots of people kept on writing and I couldn't see the exercise professor was doing. Oh, okay. Please allow us to watch the exercise. I see. Okay, so your chat is also in the way of me sitting on the floor. Interesting. I wonder what I can do to make that better. I can, in the future, try to angle the camera down a little bit more so that more of it is a little bit more visible in the or behind the chat. But when I watch the recordings, that doesn't show up in that way. How would I know what it looks like? If it looks exactly the way that I'm seeing it, maybe it's fine. I can see if I can change up the background or change up the color of my clothing to make it a little bit easier to see what the body is doing. But thank you for the feedback, and I hope you enjoyed the live otherwise. I'm scrolling up the live. Josh asked, how's the jet lag? Liz asked what happens if her knees hurt. I asked this while we were going during the follow-up. If your knees hurt, it really depends on when it starts hurting and why it starts hurting. And since you probably don't know, and we probably don't know collectively, we're just guessing a little bit. But this question came in when we were doing the Cossack switches, so early during the warm-ups. And I talked about it real quick then, but I can go into a little bit more depth now because I think it's valuable. When we're in the Cossack switches, we're in a position that looks like this, right? We're trying to keep our heels down. We're trying to get as low and compact into this position because from the middle of your groin out, this is basically a side split, right? We're doing side splits on one side at a time, and then we're doing a really deep squat in between, right? This is the deep squat. That is a Cossack switch. This is our attempt at a side split, right? So we're basically using that position, the Cossack switch position, to practice a whole bunch of different, very valuable, healthy moves and transitioning in and out of them. So it's really good for both movement and working on that end stretched position. Plus, we get stronger as we shift our weight from side to side, right? If your knees hurt when you're doing this, there's a couple of reasons. There's a couple of places most likely where they will hurt. The one we already address in the live is when you're super low down on the ground, you're trying to keep your hips low and you're trying to scoot over to the other side. There tends to be quite a bit of pressure here on the inside of the knees while you're transitioning over to the other side. If that is giving you a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of pain, the easiest thing you can immediately add in is to come up a little bit, come across, and then sink down into that stretched out position at the bottom. That would take a little bit of pain or take a little bit of weight off of the inner knees when you're scooting over from side to side. So instead of being at this low angle, feeling the pressure in the knee, you're a little bit higher up, and that should be a little gentler. What other places are you probably going to be feeling it? When you are doing that squat down on one side, my ankle cracks all the time. You might have just heard it. I think it cracked 2 or 3 times during the live when we were doing the Cossack switches. So it's normal that you have stuff, joints making sounds, right? But if your knee hurts and it's starting to hurt when you're really squished in this deep position, then maybe don't go as deep. You're gonna have to work a little bit harder because you're gonna have to hold yourself from going that deep in the future. But going less deep will give you a little bit of time to develop some resistance to that discomfort. There's another place where you might be hurting a little bit, and that could be when you're dropping down, sort of the in-between stages. That could be that you're just not very strong in those in-between stages, so it might just come with time, but that doesn't really solve your what do I do if it's hurting right now situation. A lot of what you can do is try to keep your hands on the ground to give yourself a little bit of support. You're going to take a lot of the weight off of your knees while you're sinking down if your hands are right here, right? If you're over reliant on the hands, you'll not develop your range of motion too much because you're not sinking deeper into it. But if you have a little bit of support in the parts where you're feeling a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of pain, that should help ease the burden so that you can develop some strength over time. And hopefully that will address some of the discomfort you're having in your knee. If you have knee pain otherwise, like in your normal day-to-day life, and it's been a long time since you've had knee pain, then it is quite possible that all of my suggestions aren't going to be helpful, and it's possible that my suggestions don't work because we don't know what the source of your knee discomfort is. But I just addressed most of the situations that you might run into during the live if you've never really had knee discomfort before and now you're feeling it for the first time. Usually it's a little bit of weakness in the knee area. Those muscles need some time to build up strength, and doing the movements to the best of your ability, giving yourself a chance to build up strength by putting your hands down on the ground should help. Cool? All right. Oh, I'm so far from the camera. Gotta crawl all the way back. I'm gonna do another quick scroll to the top to see if there's any messages early on that I missed, and it does not seem like it. Anchi Boo sent a heart. Thank you. Okay. I'm scrolling back down to the bottom of the chat to see what I have missed since I started looking at them. Chase says holding down the screen will help clear display option to clear the chat. Oh, wait, what's that? Do I have that option? Holding down the screen. Translate, pin this comment, mark viewer, mute account. Okay, maybe I don't have that option. But somebody try out Che's comment about clearing the display option to clear the chat and see if that clears off your screen and makes it a little bit easier to see what's going on in the live. And let me know, because I don't have multiple devices that are watching the live, so I can't try that function right now. I think that's everything. That's our whole entire chat. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, for practicing consistency, for building some mobility live this Saturday evening. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a great time. I hope for the last couple of minutes you've been relaxing, chilling, and recovering from the workout. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you in a little bit. We have another live in about 10 hours and 40 minutes. It is the weekend, so we have double lives, 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., and you should just come back for 9 a.m. in a little bit. FIFO Sorio asks, tomorrow, do we have a class? We absolutely do. The normal life, so this time is the normal life, Monday through Sunday. We have class at 9 p.m. pretty much every single day. I think I've missed 2 days in the last 5 months. So you can be pretty confident that that's happening. And then in the morning at 9 a.m., so in 10 hours and 40 minutes, we will have another class, and you can come in for that. That is everything. Make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, get notified. I make a bunch of other content that's not just about side splits, not just about hip mobility. We do cool things like teach you skills. I think last week I released a video about the frog stand, which looks a little bit like this. You pop into a deep squat, you stick your elbows into your knees, and then you kind of lean forward until you bounce. Whee! That is a super basic skill. Doesn't require a lot of strength, and you can probably pick it up in 10, 15, 20 minutes. So check out that video on YouTube. The username is @splitsontheside. It's the same username as on TikTok. It is probably the most recent video I posted, so you can go check out that frog stand tutorial. And if you have questions about it, you can come back into the chat and ask me questions tomorrow, or leave a comment and I will try my best to answer that ASAP. Yeah, okay. I think I've given the spiel enough times today. Hit follow, hit subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow for some more lives. I'm wrapping up. I'm crawling over to the phones. I'm ready to shut down, and I am closing out.